Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. I kinda wanted to do a video covering the fallout of the new changes on the PTR. Of course we have Paris. I've been able to only play it once. It took me 20 minutes to find a game and the game was over in 2. So kinda really sets a precedent on how the PTR is doing nowadays, but more specifically the armor changes. There's a lot of misinformation flying around. Whilst there's not enough information here or as much of an impact to do like a winners and losers say, there are certainly some heroes that do get shafted by these changes. Some more than others, whilst there are some heroes that are affected by this, but ultimately it changes nothing. We'll be looking at some stats around Reaper and how good he really is in the bottom tiers at least a week later. Some interesting stats of the protected ban tournament that Jane ran, what heroes were banned the most, and Seagull's perspective on a full MMR reset. I want to take that very quickly because I have a very good analogy that really suits this, so stay tuned for that. The changes along with a new map on the PTR are as followed. Non-recoverable health, shields and armors are now consumed before recoverable health, shields and armors. This sounds complicated and even the priority order kind of makes it a little bit more convoluted, but it is fairly straightforward. Before it used to be that your shields were grouped together, your armor was grouped together, and then your health was grouped together. The order before used to be that you'd have your normal health, then you'd have non-recoverable health, which by the way, no abilities do that in the game, they may do in the future. You have recoverable armor, which is just a general part of your health that is armor, such as Brigitte has a little bit, Reinhardt, Winston, Hammond, Orisa, D.Va all have armor health themselves. Then you have non-recoverable armor, which is the armor that Brigitte gives out with Rally, her shield pack, and what old Torbjorn used to give out too. You then have recoverable shields, which is what Zarya, Zenyatta, Symmetra all have, and non-recoverable shields, which is what Symmetra would have given you with the old teleporter ultimate, but also Sound Barrier counts as this, Hammond's shield ability counts as this, and also Doomfist's passive way does damage, it gets a little bit of shield. Now it goes recoverable health, recoverable armor, and recoverable shields, and any non-recoverable bits and pieces that you get, such as health, armor, and shield, goes on top of all of that. There's a big misconception that this affects Lucio, Hammond, and Doomfist in a negative way, and that's not true. The recoverable shield aspect of these heroes always went on top of your normal health. When Hammond uses his E, it goes above his normal health and his normal armor, and that's still the case now. His shields are the first bit of health that will take damage when Hammond takes damage. It's the same for Doomfist, and it's the same for Lucio's Sound Barrier. There's no difference there. Realistically, this only changes how Brigitte works in the game with her recoverable armor abilities, and how she interacts with the characters that have shield health, such as Zenyatta, Zarya, and Symmetra. As I said before, if Brigitte gave armor to Zenyatta, that armor would sit underneath his shield health. Nowadays, it sits on top of, so the first bit of damage that Zenyatta takes will be to that armor that was given to him by Brigitte, instead of him holding onto it for too long. As somebody that casted Overwatch pretty regularly at the highest tiers, the amount of times that I saw Zenyatta with that armor health that he got from a Brigitte rally, whilst the Brigitte has another rally ready, is pretty ridiculous and it was too strong. This is another big blow to Brigitte, it's another big blow to Goats, but there are definitely some indirect nerfs to Zenyatta and Zarya in here. Symmetra too, but I feel that Zenyatta and Zarya are very much pivotal in the Goats meta. I just saw a lot of people said, how's this going to affect Lucio's Sound Barrier? This is bad for the hero, and it's like, it's not. It's fine. This literally changes nothing other than the interactions that I just mentioned. It really does show how convoluted the armor system is. I know Jeff Goodman spoke about this on the IDDQD stream. The whole system's a mess, and you can certainly blame Brigitte to an extent of why that's such a problem, but these are things that will just get ironed out over time. There may be heroes in the future that grant temporary shield health in the same fashion as to how Brigitte does, or even temporary health. No hero in the game gives temporary health abilities in the same way. Primal Rage kind of, but it's a bit of a unique example. Now I want to go over an Omnic Meta article, of course written by Switchfox. We do a lot of stuff with them, they make some great articles, and this one certainly isn't any different. This is about Reaper, the effect that he's had. Miska's kind of gone over this earlier in the week, but I really want to highlight another misconception that these Reaper changes that went through are complete trash tier. We're now going off this article with win rate comparison. He has one of the highest win rates in the game across all the tiers. To quote, Reaper's win rate has increased quite a bit as well. He's at or near the top of all popular damage heroes at all tiers of play, sporting some very impressive win rates. His success scales with his tier as well, reaching a 57% win rate in Grandmaster. Eliminations, damage done, final blows, all have gone up like 5 or 6% at most. Death Blossom kills have gone up almost 20% in gold because of these lifesteal changes, meaning that the ultimate is one of the solid reasons as to why Reaper is pretty good right now, with the fact that he can basically stay alive and seemingly nobody can pick Diva or stun him when he's doing it, but I know how that feels. You can read the full article in the description below. I really did want to highlight simply because it is a really solid article. Maybe we'll look at it in a little bit more detail some other time, but do check this out, some really interesting stuff here. Speaking of stats, I wanted to go over the ELO Hell Esports. They provided some stats on the Hero Ban Protect system that they had for the Tournament of Future Champions. They had a hero protect system in, which meant that those heroes could not be banned, and they of course had the banning system. So here are the top heroes for protects, which are pretty ridiculous when you look at who they are. Diva, of course, most of the time being protected so they could still run her. Lucio, Mercy, Brigitte all still up there to an extent. And for the bans, Mercy, Brigitte, Lucio were banned the most, Diva quite a little bit, but I imagine if Diva wasn't protected as much, she would soar to the top here. So some really interesting mechanics here. I think a lot of people would assume that Brigitte by default would be the most banned hero, and it's not really the case. There's so many other interactions that these teams wanted to remove, such as speed boost or res in a lot of these cases, so a bit of a surprise. I didn't want to go into this for too long. It was a really solid idea coming out of Jane and his community, and I hope I get to see a bit more of it. Finally, this is what Siegel thinks of a full MMR reset.
Do you think there should be an MMR reset every season? MMR reset? MMR reset is like a big debate. Everyone always begs for it, but they have no idea what they're talking about. It's typically the people who ask for MMR reset are the ones stuck at low rank who are like convinced that they're not. And they're like, I'm stuck in ELO hell. No one can get out of this. Game?
I feel that an MMR reset is kind of like Brexit. A lot of people wanted change, a lot of people wanted to see things done differently, but they weren't really sure of the implications, the fallout, or how long it would take to set up after the deal was done. That's kind of the MMR reset. Whilst I can understand why people want a fresh start, the game would literally be unplayable for 3 months, 4 months, even longer, whilst people got to their respective ranks. I just don't see it happening anytime soon, and I'm kind of glad that some of the pros are kind of agreeing that it seems a bit far-fetched to do a full MMR reset. Granted, it does make seasons completely pointless in a lot of senses, but I feel like a lot of people just don't understand damage that a full MMR reset could do to the game. It'd be all over the place. Granted, it's pretty bad now to be fair, but you see what I mean. Lastly, I wanted to go over the Overwatch League All Access Pass. It seems pretty good. You can watch people's perspectives on whoever you want. You can filter the teams by their role, choose who you really want to watch, what perspective you want to go over. You get 200 league tokens as well, and honestly, it seems so much better than the season pass last year. It's a perfect time to shout out Omen by HP in our videos. We do a couple of esports videos once a month going over some pretty interesting stuff, certain compositions, and now that the Overwatch League is about to start up again in less than 2 weeks, we're very excited to do some stuff there, so big shout out to them. They have some pretty good stuff. You can check all of the Omen stuff in the description below if you want, but I'm very much looking forward to doing some Overwatch League related stuff again alongside Omen by HP. But that's everything that I wanted to go over today. Just some minor sort of news roundup bits and pieces. Really wanted to stop that misconception that suddenly Lucio hammered the Doomfist were nerfed again when it wasn't true. So I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative. Thanks for watching. I'll see some of you guys in the Anthem Open demo with any luck, but thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.